So play after me if you want. It happens so fast, right? It's hard to show you, but what I'm doing is I'm playing between those two different scales. I'm playing, I mean, a lot of times I'm playing the major, B flat major blues scale on the first measure, and then I'm playing the minor on the second measure because it's a 1 to 4. I can also play the minor on the first measure if I want. So I'll try to do twice as long phrases. So it's gonna be harder to remember, but So let's look at internalizing the chords in other ways. Again, like we did on the other one, which is B flat 7, E flat 7. Right? So you can write those out as extended range first position. That's B flat 7, E flat 7. So you can work on those arpeggios if you want. You know, so I'll give you that a little bit. These are just going to be from the arpeggios. You can play back these short lines to me if you want. B flat. Voice leading now. Voice leading arpeggios. E flat 7. E flat 7. B flat 7. E flat 7. I call this a chord pair. And when we did Pachelbel's canon at the beginning of the class, when we did chord stacks, I said it was triadic music, right? Triads. 3-note chords, major and minor chords. But now we're using 7th chords. So we can't do all the same things that we do with triads on a fiddle very practically because there's 4 notes. With 3 notes, we can play all 3 voices as triple stops. It isn't always pretty, but we can do it. But with 4 notes, just forget about it. There's no way. And so, but we still have to practice voice leading. And so the way I do it is by these just arpeggiating 4-note chords and voice leading these 2 arpeggio shapes. If you write this out, then you'll have that arpeggio and then you have the other one underneath it, extended range. So that's B flat 7, E flat 7. And then you practice voice leading every inversion. So this is an inversion. And first you start with each chord. So B flat. Every one of those is just an inversion of the same chord. We're just starting on a different note. So that's the first thing I prescribe is learn the arpeggio in all those inversions. Because again, why? Because we can't play the quadruple stops. It's not practical. Now that's also why I recommend that you do learn just your 3rd and 7th for the chord. You can sing the bass line and you can play just the 3rd and 7th. Or you can play the triple stop, which is root 3rd and 7th. So you can learn the triple stop and just leave the 5th out. But it's still a different animal than what we did with the chord stacks originally. Because there's only just different, it's just different in my mind. So that's why I treat it differently. That's how I have different exercises I prescribe for it. So once you can play those arpeggios, well, then you want to be able to voice lead them. And that's how you get off the page, is to start to voice lead just 2 chords. So I'll go down with it and you can play after me. So it'll be B flat. And then it's going to be E flat, voice led. Then it's going to be B flat. Then it's going to be E flat, starting on G. Then B flat starting on F. E flat starting on E flat. B flat starting on D. E flat starting on D flat. And you want to learn it so well that you can have a conversation and teach it to someone just like I am right now, which shows you that I have spent thousands of hours on it. And it's taken me decades. So don't feel bad. But I'm just saying that's how, you know. But the thing is that I would have learned a lot faster if I would have had somebody like me that actually had the method. Because I wasted a lot of time trying to, do it the wrong way. So so play after me, starting on A flat. So on B flat. B flat. D flat. D. E flat. how you practice voice leading it. That's how you practice voice leading. But again, you can just play the third and seventh. So. Get your bow going. Try to find different rhythms. You can double up the bow if you want. So I'm gonna let you work on this, all those different things. Go ahead. And remember the micro improvisation too. If you want to use your ear, just make simple lines, try to hear that blues language, you can do that. If you want to just stick with B flat minor pentatonic, you can do that. Good news is it's duple, so you don't have to think about the triplet thing. Ah. Let me get a popsicle. I'll be right back. So just briefly, before we go to the next section of the tune, because I want to go on that too. I think it might have been on Thursday actually, or it might have been the week before, where I said like very simple phrases. And now that you've heard me spew all this theory at you and show you all this voice leading and stuff, remember that like the most important thing, the most important things to me are you playing in time and are you making phrases? So even if you're just playing the simplest ideas, you can totally play simple ideas, you know? And so if I tried to play simple, those are simple ideas. So you can, like, anybody in this class can do that. And also the most advanced people should do that. Because it's not about how fancy you can be, it's about how good can you make it feel. And when I play with Bobby Floyd, that's a lesson, that's the gentle whooping he constantly gives me every time I see him. He plays simple ideas, but they feel amazing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the point, right? So the only reason I say that is because some people are like, well, I already knew that stuff. And it's like, well, what are you doing about it? That would be my big thing, is like, play phrases, leave spaces in between your phrases. This is the thing that I see that advanced players don't do. They can play their instrument, they know theory, they've taken a bunch of classes wherever, they've listened to a bunch of podcasts or YouTube videos, but they don't leave spaces in between phrases, and or they don't play in the rhythm, in the pocket. They play ambiguously, rhythmically ambiguous. So those are the biggest things that I judge myself for. I listen back, I'm like, did I play an explicit rhythm? And then I judge every phrase. I judge every note of every phrase I play. In fact, I could show you in the last 2 days alone, I spent hours videoing myself and playing over this groove. That's not the groove, wait one sec. It's a groove that you actually know, because we worked on it last week. And it's like a dance party groove or whatever. But I was like, I taught it doing like play along stuff, but I was like, I want to like play a solo that really sounds good on it. So it's this one. Remember this one? So I was like, let me make a 30-second video that I can put on Instagram, which is the sweetest stuff that I can play. Right? And so I was playing, I was trying all these different things and playing fast and playing double stops and all this stuff, but I haven't been satisfied. I haven't been able to play 30 seconds of stuff that felt in the pocket, like the phrases. And that's because I really do. I listen to every note and I'm like, that was a little out of the pocket, or that didn't really feel like the hippest phrase I could make, or whatever. And so we always we can bring that level of critical awareness to what we're doing, but also it doesn't have to be fancy. So anyway, so I say that to say, I want you to go over play this a little more, but think about it that way. Think about playing distinct phrases and think about playing rhythmically in a way that is really explicit. So like a rhythm, the rhythm is da 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 ga da da ga da da ga da ga da ga da 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 ga da ga da ga da 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 ga da. Right? Like pretty much any, unless you're going to do ba-da-da-ba, ba-da-da-ba-da-da, ba-da-da-ba. But think about having these strong melodic rhythms and separation of phrases, where there's the beginning of a phrase and the end of a phrase. That's what I want you to work on just for a few more minutes while I crack open this bottle of wine and simultaneously eat my popsicle. Ready, go, and... Record yourself. Cool. So for the B section, I would venture to say that over this part, you could use the major or the minor there. You could use both. Ideally, we use both. Ideally, we mix and match. But the point is, you can get away with either one you want. And then when you go to that sus chord, also there you can use both because that's a 5. Now, when we get to that C minor, you could use C minor pentatonic, or you could just stay with G minor pentatonic. Same thing on the D minor, G minor pentatonic, or D minor, and then obviously G minor pentatonic at the end. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to give you that part. No, let's just play the whole tune. I'll play the melody, and you can do whatever you want. So it's going to be the whole tune, basically. 2 and 3 and 4 and... Sorry, 3 and 4, wrong loop. Going to the bridge. All right, good work. Any questions before we transition to masterclass?